Oh boy.
Welcome everybody, welcome, hello, and let's just enjoy this. We have our first game of the day, and it is going to be a very fun one. We are spawning directly on top of UR.Slush, our representative today for underrated gaming. And I'm sure, Hand, you really should actually be saying a little bit more about Slush, but before you do, let's go ahead and take a look at his opponent, iNx.Roronoa. Roronoa is going to be the green Protoss in the bottom left. He actually just created a new team with his friend. He was talking about this in the chat. We did cast him last week, and now we're watching yeah,
Some friendly banter.
yeah, also MVP yeah, Cole MVP Tails just messaged me saying I'm sorry, I forgot. So he'll get us into a big game in the future. But let's go ahead. We got a PvP now for you guys. And Hand, why don't you talk a little bit more about Slush?
Well, Slush is one of my all-star players. He's a GM on the EU ladder, High Masters, low GM on NA. He just doesn't play enough on NA, honestly. But that's okay. He still plays. He is one of my all-stars. He has taken down a many amount of players in our clan wars. He's one of our ace players, definitely. Really just, and for being so young, Slush is only 15. Being so young, he is definitely, definitely, one of my go-to guys. Because he's just going to get better and better. So, he is actually from Sweden, guys, so.
And that will account for the very European-ness of him. So there's a lot of fun stuff that we've seen him do. Roronoa is a player that's pretty much unknown. We did cast him last week, actually, in the Zotac Cup. I think I mentioned that before. I'm trying to remember who he played. It was a Korean. I can't remember who. But it was on Daybreak. It was... I want to say it was a PVZ. But he just didn't quite get out a lot of stuff in the face of just getting overrun, I believe, by roaches. Let's go look at the build order. Slush has thrown down his second gas, so it looks like we will not be seeing...
Gas stole, too.
Yeah. Okay, so he's gonna... Okay, also...
He's basically going to force the 4-gate at this point.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. The only thing is that Tails just messaged me saying, go, go. And I'm like, no, we're in the game. Yeah, alright, so that's kind of unfortunate on that one. But no, we're going to be seeing that Roronoa will basically be doing a full grade. Looks like he was actually planning to anyway, so Slush is going to have to be really, really on top of his build order to actually be able to defend this. Looks like he'll be going for a full wall off, as you can see from this frontal pylon. But Roronoa is getting his probes... Oh, he's going beyond 20 pro, so he may go for an economic 4-gate or 3-gate to try and basically fake Slush into thinking that he's in a better position than he actually is in. This could be a very, very interesting game, just build order-wise, between these two players.
It very much could be. Slush is feeling a 4-gate, and I don't know.
Robo got thrown down, so we're not going to be seeing a 4-gate coming out of Roronoa at all. He should be getting down his second gas in a moment, I would assume. He is getting out his second Zealot as well. So Slush, for the next minute or so, is going to be waiting for that 4-gate that is honestly not coming. So we'll see exactly what the state of his tech is going to be, because if you look at the base of Slush, he has no tech besides gateways. So Roro has actually managed to be ahead in tech.
And there's a Robo Bay, just a Robo facility going down just for Slush. So, I mean, honestly, like you say, he's going to be ahead, but I honestly think Slush will just take down the pylon. He's, he's fine on his warp gate. He's a little ahead there. He's got more gateways, and Rono there, or no, whatever. I'm going to call him Ro. Is going to scout Slush like he was expecting, the 4-gate, but it's not the 4-gate. And it's just, sadly, I think Slush will just say, okay, we're going to have a macro game now. Oh. Or he's going to go one-base Cola.
Yeah, I think the one-base God, I don't think he wants a real macro game. I think he's going to go ahead and try and go for the kill. But take a look at this. Roro is getting down his Immortal. If he can go ahead and actually get up a sizable force and push within the next minute or maybe even 2 minutes, he's got that Immortal. There will be no extended thermal lance for those Colossus. If a Colossus is invested to come out, then it'll be able to get sniped. But if you can see, Slush is going to try and prevent that possibility by getting down an Immortal of his own probably before he gets out of Colossus, just to make sure that he has that added bit of safety at the start of the game and doesn't get turned into having like a 2-minute timing window where he could get punished for trying to go straight for the Colossus.
No, but at the same point, Ro is going to come in here and actually see what Slush is doing, so he's going to be like, oh. And if I was him, I'd be like, I'm going to go push as soon as this next Immortal's out. Just me.
Yep, well, let's see what he will decide to do. Slush has now begun his first Colossus, and Roro's actually throwing down a Robobay of his own. Ugh, this is actually a really bad decision.
Is not, and he's going for a Warp Prism?
Are we going to have Immortal drops? Because if we have a double Immortal drop, that would be really awesome. If he can get back in, he might even have an opportunity to snipe the Robotics Bay if Slush decides to push out like it looks like he will be doing very, very soon.
But Slush is actually going to be watching this very closely. You notice he's got his obs going around. And here we go. He's actually following the Warp Prism now.
Oh, yeah, he knows.
So
he knows. But the thing is, it looks like Roro may actually just going for...
He is going for a double Immortal drop.
He's going...
Slush goes, okay.
Now, we'll
Look
see.
at this. Slush is moving right back up into his base. And he should be warping in a few more Stalkers, hopefully.
Yep. And Roro has just begun his first Colossus. So we're in a really interesting point between these two players in terms of how this game is progressing.
And here we go. Let's see if it gets picked off. It's coming in. Slush is actually going to the front of his base, so this is going to get down. This is... Oh, wait, there he goes. He's going to the back.
Ooh, Roro does know about everything that's in there. He does have his observer following this army, so he knows exactly where everything is going to be. We're watching him moving forward. It looks like Slush is leaving him behind a few units, a perfect amount to stop those Immortals. And notice how he's mostly getting Zealots and only one Stalker. He needs a Stalker to push back the Warp Prism and the Zealots to make sure that the Immortals can't do
and Rowan loses a... Oh, that's no good. He lost his obs. He lost his sentry, and now he's moving around the back of the base. And Slush is just following him at this point.
Yep, and there it is. He's in a perfect spot. He's doing a great job of staying on top of his Warp Prism. But notice the Nexus has been thrown down by Roro, so his economy is looking like it could be in a much better spot than Slush's for all intents and purposes. Because as you can see, Slush still hasn't gotten his natural, but his scariness is coming in the Colossi. But notice the lack of extended thermal lance. He does not have his extended thermal lance started or anything. It is blatantly sitting there inside that Robotics Bay.
No, it definitely is. But, you know, the big thing is... I honestly think Slush has got more sentries, so while there is one Colo out there, I think Slush can get aggressive.
And it looks like he'll be doing just that. Plus, look at the 4 warp gates that he has. Think one base. He's going to reinforce with a 4 gate on top of this very DPS-heavy army. And there we go. Guardian shields are up from both players. We're watching as they are moving forward. Everything is now getting hit. There are cross laser beams going everywhere. But the thing is, no one has extended lance. The Immortal for Slush is using to target down that topmost Colossus. And it looks like first Colossus falls on Slush's side. And
but Rose actually warping in behind Slush.
That was a nice little move with that Warp Prism, but Slush just has units that Roro unfortunately does not. There is the GG, the well played, and that is going to be the end of that game. Our first game of the day does go to Slush in a very nice manner, and we're going to be able to move on and continue the Zotac Cup with our next game coming up next. We are going to be trying to grab people like Complexity MVP Tails. So let's go ahead, stick around, and see what our game number 2 is going to be in Zotac Cup.
Oh, let's see what we got.
Replay saved.